welcome back to Swimming and Motivations podcast. We are back with episode 2, and I am so excited for this one because today the topic is on something that is actually very, very important to me, which is self-love. It is something that I have definitely been on a journey to find since I realized what it was. I've been on a constant journey to find self-love. And that's what I find myself helping people with the most, because I think it all comes back to self-love. No matter what you're trying to find, it all comes back to self-love. Once you love yourself and you start knowing your worth, everything else basically falls into place. So self-love is definitely a topic that I speak on so much. A lot of people come to me in need of help with finding self-love, and there's no problem with it. So many girls are ashamed to actually say that they need self-love, and it's like, I don't understand why, because we are all human. We are all going through stuff, and we all healing from from things. So statistics show that only 4% of women in the world actually love themselves. Only 4% of women in the world actually look in the mirror and say, like, I look beautiful. I love every part about me. The other 96% does not feel that way. And I feel like my sole purpose in life is really to make every woman I come in contact feel that way. Like, I love to adjust crowns. Let me fix your crown. I hate for a woman to tell me, like, yeah, I can't do this, or I don't feel like. No, we gonna fix that, okay? We gonna get you feeling all the way yourself. Now, before we even can get there, it's a journey of, absolutely, it's a journey. It takes time. It does not happen overnight. I'm still working on it. I'm not a pro, but I do know some stuff. So let's get into it, y'all. First of all, if you do have a pen and paper, I need you to write some stuff down. So the first thing I want you to write down or take a mental note of is, what is self-love? Like, think about that for a minute. Ask yourself, what is self-love? Like, what is self-love to you? So I decided to write down what I feel like self-love is to me, and I came up with, self-love isn't about changing you. It's about loving you for you as you are in each moment. And that can be extremely hard to do. Like, it sounds way easier than it is actually done, especially with the new age social media and stuff. You see other people around you doing different things, and sometimes it can be really hard to just focus on what you have going on for yourself. That can be really hard for some people, and it's like, you have to learn to accept you for you, and the things that you don't love about yourself, you gotta love them even harder. Send love to the parts of you that you don't really like that much. We all have something about us that we don't like, but those things that you don't like, send love to those things even more, because they actually need it. So I have 3, key points that I feel like really helps you get to self-love. And I had a self-love class in January. It was called Dreaming of a Self-Love. Part 2 is coming soon, y'all, so stay tuned for that. But in the class, I had 3 key points, which were advance, accept, and align. And those are basically the 3 key points that I'm going to go off of today to just speak on self-love and really give y'all guidelines kind of to help y'all in y'all journey. So first is accept. You have to learn to accept you for who you are, as you are in the moment. You have to accept everything about yourself. Everybody has done something they aren't that proud of. Everybody may have said something they aren't proud of. Everybody, like I said, has something about themselves that they don't like. Everybody has something about their life maybe they wish they could change. But everything that is in your life is as it is. You cannot go change it. You cannot go back in time and change anything. You have to accept yourself exactly the way you are. Accept who you are right now. Yes, we all are reaching and we're trying to get to somebody else. But you will not be able to reach that person and be grateful for who that person that you will become is if you cannot be appreciative for who you are right now in this moment. Like, it all starts with right now. You have to love yourself and accept who you are right now. Like, if you really sit down and think about it, think of some stuff that you really love about yourself, because when you sit down and think about it, I'm pretty sure you'll find some stuff. Like, there are definitely some qualities that you can find about yourself that you absolutely love. Maybe it's your personality. You love your personality. Maybe it's your heart. You have a big heart. Whatever that may be, find that and love it. And even your flaws. Find out flaws of yourself and love those flaws even harder, because they need love more. Send love to those parts of yourself that you aren't that sure about. It's fine. It's a process. It's fine that you're finding yourself. You don't have to have it all figured out right now, but accept that and understand that. Once you accept yourself, you no longer look outside of yourself for, validation. A lot of people look at, oh, I like what she has on, I wish I had that, or I like how she looks, I wish I looked like that, when really everything that we need is inside of us. Like, you don't need any outside sources. Everything that you need is already within you. It's like, when you ever be looking for the remote and you realize it was in your hand the whole time? Like, you already got everything you need. It's just about implementing it into your life, and things that you go through will allow you to dig deeper inside yourself and pull out different things. You have to go through the struggle in order to become, but love every aspect of it. Love your journey. Love you getting there. Don't be so focused on, I'll be happy when I become. No, be happy right now, because right now is what really, really matters, and you have to accept your right now. You might not have all the money you want. You might not be at as you might not be at peace as much as you would love to be, but you will get there when you accept yourself and when you love yourself. And also, when you accept yourself, it ain't nothing anybody could say to you about you, because you already know who you are. Like, can't nobody tell me about me, because I know who I am. What are you going to say to me? I already accept myself. So I have my standard here, and I'm not bringing it down for nobody, because we're not negotiating. Like, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Fendi, all of them fancy stores, they don't go on sale because it ain't cheap. You either can afford it or you can't. So that's how you have to start setting your standards up. When I accept who I am, I know what the price is. And if you cannot afford this price, you just won't buy it. If you can't afford to be around my energy, if you cannot meet these standards of my vibe, you just can't be around it. And that is fine, because I accept me and I accept you for who you are, and we just don't vibrate on the same frequency. So y'all get what I'm saying? It creates a pattern. Like, once you start accepting yourself, you accept a lot of different things, and you have ease with a lot of different stuff, because you know who you are and you know what you deserve. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. So that's why it's really, really important to accept yourself. I want y'all to really start working on accepting you for who you are. Forgive yourself for any mistakes that you think you may have made in your life, because those were all just stepping stones and to get you to exactly where you need to be. Now, after you accept yourself, you must align yourself with who you are becoming. You must align yourself with everything that your true purpose, everything that you were put here to be. You cannot, finding yourself and loving yourself, I would like to say, is goes hand in hand with finding out what you want to do in your life. If you don't love yourself and you don't accept yourself, you won't know your true self. You can't find your life purpose if you're trying to be Jackie, because Jackie already has her life planned out, and that life is already sold out. So if you live in your life trying to be somebody else, you won't find who you are as a person. That's why it's so important to love yourself, because once you start accepting yourself, here comes the next step. Boom, you're aligning yourself with where you're supposed to be. I know who I am now, so now I'm finding stuff that I like. Okay, I like drawing. I like running in a park. Maybe I'm meant to be a workout trainer. Maybe I'm meant to be an artist. You see what I'm saying? It all comes into purpose. It's all a rock in a rhythm. I know who I am now. So now I'm finding my purpose. So now I'm aligning myself with what God really has for me. So now I'm aligning myself with what the universe has to show me. Now I'm aligning myself with people that I'm meant to be around. Once I really started, hey y'all, my phone died, so I had to pause the podcast. But back to what I was saying. I didn't grow up around a lot of people. Like, I didn't hang up around a I didn't hang around, I'm sorry. I didn't hang around a lot of people growing up. I hung around my sisters, but I didn't have no, they was my sisters. I didn't have no friends. You know, I didn't really surround myself with a bunch of people. But when I got older and I started to find myself and I started to love myself, I started to align with the people who need to be around me. Now I have a lot of people around me, but I know all of those people that are around me are solid because I know what's for me now. So I'm not just accepting anything into my life. Every single one of my friends, I know that they'll be there for me. They support my dreams. I support them back. It goes hand in hand because I'm here with myself. You know, I'm up on a note with myself. So everybody that's around me is up on a note too. And because I'm up there with myself, I'm attracting vibrations from other people that are also one with themselves and they love themselves. And we are holding each other to higher standards and we're helping each other grow. It's all a part of the process. Once you start doing one thing to align yourself with better, everything else will start to follow. So if you don't start to love yourself now, you will never truly align with what really is for you. Because everything in your life that you have, everything that's around you is for you. So if you're trying to be somebody else or live another life, or you live in a life that's really not for you, how can you ever get what's for you? And you don't want what's not for you. Like, you don't want something that's not meant to be yours, do you? No, you don't. So that's why you want to love yourself. You really, really do. Now, I think about like 11 points that I want y'all to write down and I want y'all to think about. So as I read them to you, think about them, write them down. And if y'all want to, y'all can DM me and let me know like how you felt about these topics, which one really related to you. Like, you don't have to write all of them down, but write one down that really relates to you, because it's different things. Like, some people don't love themselves because of their mental state. Some people think they're too big to love themselves. Some people think they're too dark or too pale. You know, it's different forms of not loving yourself. So I think these points that I came up with will definitely suit a lot of people, no matter what form your self-love comes from. So the first one is, people will accept you only when you accept yourself. And that is a major, major key. I talk about this all the time in confidence. The way you carry yourself is the way everybody else will carry it with you. If you come in a room shy and, you know, like confided in, and you like don't really make your presence known, people not going to pay you no mind. But if you walk in head held high like, oh, I'm her and I know I'm her, people ain't got no choice but to know you her too. They gonna know. They gonna know as soon as you walk in, like, oh, that's her. Even if they ain't never heard of you a day in their life, they gonna feel the energy. Let people feel your energy when you come in. Love yourself to the point where people love you too. And if they don't, oh well, because that's on them. But they're gonna know who you are though. Because when you come in, you're gonna just fill the room with that type of energy. So remember, people will accept you only when you accept yourself. 2. What others say and do is a reflection of them, not of you. My friend Jada taught me something very important that I tell people all the time. Do not take stuff personal. It is not personal. When somebody is doing something to you, it is not personal. They are not doing it as a direct cause to what you did. They are doing it because they don't know no better. This is what they know. This is how they know how to act. This is what they have been taught how to do. It has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them, especially if someone is hurting you, because people hurt people. If you have ever met someone who is trying to hurt you, Do not get back at them because they are already hurt, which is why they are trying to hurt you back. That's what I'm saying. It literally has nothing to do with you. What others say and do is a reflection of them, not you. So don't take it personal. No one can make you feel less than without your permission. So this goes back to people only going to do what you allow them to do. You ever walk in somebody's house and you see that the house is clean? You like, oh my God, let me not drop a crumb in this house because you see how sparkling clean it is. When you give somebody an expectation, they are going to meet it because they know you're not allowing them to do anything less than that. But if you just allow somebody to come in and run all over you and make you feel less than yourself, then they're going to feel like that is okay because that is what you allowed them to do. And that's why self-love is important, because through self-love, you know your worth. And you know that if you don't meet this expectation, I'm not settling and I'm not allowing you to make me feel less than, because I know exactly who I am. Next point, we see only what we want to see when we are ready to see it. A lot of people rush their process of self-love and their process of anything because of what the next person is doing, or the next person is here in their life. The next person has found peace. The next person has done this and that. But you have to trust the universe's plan for you. Everybody's plan is different and everybody's timing is different. Just because somebody got something earlier than you does not mean your blessing is not coming. That's just their blessing. A blessing too early is also not a blessing. You give a 14-year-old a car, it's not a blessing to them because they don't have a license. So you have to realize that you will see exactly what you need to see when you're ready to see it. If you have not seen it yet, maybe it's because you are not the person you need to be to receive it. Like, think to yourself, am I really at a time in my life where I could mentally run a multi-million-dollar company? Like, can I really do that right now? Like, be honest with yourself. Can I really handle that? So don't rush something that you are truly not ready for. Like, you may not be ready for it right now, but life is going to teach you stuff and you will truly be ready for it. The next thing, happiness comes from the inside, not from the outside. This is a major, major key. A lot of people feel like they can't find self-love while they're in a relationship. They can't find self-love with friendships. And this is why. It's because you're putting your happiness on other people. You're putting your happiness on other stuff. You're like, no, I'll be happy when. I'll be happy when. No, you have to be happy right now. Like right now. Right now. You have to be happy without being rich. Because if you don't start being happy right now, when you do finally get rich, you still won't be happy. If you're not happy right now, you still will not be happy. Even Michelle Obama said this is something she truly had to learn, because she was placing her happiness on Barack Obama. And because he was not around, she was not happy. She had to learn that my happiness is my job. Will Smith says it. Happiness is your job. No matter if you married to somebody, it is not their job to make you happy. If you're not happy within yourself, nothing is going to make you happy. Your happiness has to be your priority. Don't put your happiness on anybody else because you're giving them way too many expectations. Your happiness is inside of you. It is not outside of you. Stop looking for outside sources to make you happy, because you'll fail every single time. Next, the size of your body does not make you less of a person. I see so many beautiful girls who just think that they're too big, they're too small. The size you are does not make you less of a person. Like, you are the way that you are created for a reason. When you're thinking that you're less than because of your body size, start thinking to yourself, like, what if this is just the way I was created? You know, what if I have no other choice? This is what God gave me. And this is what I was created to be. Think like that and start to love that body that you are in. Love that body that you are in. Love every part of that body that you are in. And then once you start to love yourself, you will feel way more at peace and things will just start to melt away. Like, if you're trying to lose weight, try loving yourself. And I'm telling you, before you know it, you're going to make conscious decisions to eat healthier. It's just going to come natural because you're loving yourself. Don't hate the weight away. Love the weight away, okay? Give it love. Give that weight love and love yourself. Look in the mirror and tell yourself, girl, you look good. Because you do. Even if you don't think so, you look good. Next one. You can never judge a person's insides by their outside. A lot of people say, oh, girl, you look mean. You got a mean face. No. Do not judge a book by its cover because everybody is different on the inside. And the inside is what really matters because it's in you. It's not on you. It don't matter what kind of clothes you got on. It don't matter what you look like. The person inside is what really matters because you can be a pretty girl, but if you got a nasty attitude, you're ugly. Don't nobody want to be around nobody that's just mean, nasty all the time. If you got a bad attitude, you're an ugly person, and that's just the reality of it. So do not judge the outside of somebody. Next. How you feel is more important than how you look. How you feel on the inside is way more important. Like, I have right now a scarf on, my braids look crazy, my nails not done, and yes, we are quarantining, but I don't care about that. Like, I don't care that I look like this because I know, for one, I'm the one. Like, inside, mentally, I'm the one. And for two, I know that when I'm ready to look how I want to look, I'll look that way. But you have to know who you are inside. Like, your outside appearance does not validate you. Who you are inside really, really, really matters. When you glow from the inside out, that's different. That's a whole different feeling. That's a whole different vibe. When you start glowing from the inside and out, that's crazy. Like, that's a whole new level that you want, that you have met with yourself. Now, those were some principles and some questions that I had came up with through self-love. And let me know which ones that you decided to write down, which ones came to your mind and you thought, maybe I relate to this one. You know, this one I need to work on more. Like, overall, I just need y'all to understand that self-love is so important. If you can't love yourself, the truth is you can't love someone else because you can only love yourself as much as you love the next person. And that's something that I really, truly realize. You ever see people that's just mad all the time? That's because they're mad at themselves. Like, it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. But if they had their self-love, they would just glow. And they would want to make other people glow. It's, you know, it's all a part of the process. So, thank you for joining in on episode 2 of Swimming and Motivations podcast. My social media is Money Two Times. That's my personal one. And my business one is Swimming and Motivation. DM me. Let me know. Give me feedback. Let me know how y'all felt about this podcast. Let me know y'all thoughts on self-love. Let me know what was most inspiring to you during this podcast. I want to know every single thing. So let me know, y'all. I would love to hear it. Thank y'all for joining in. I don't know if I already said this, but I hope y'all loved it because self-love is so important to me. So I hope y'all loved it. And see y'all later on Swimming and Motivation Podcast. Say if you're a sad person, you say I'm happy, I'm happy. If you say I'm happy, it's more than